So I came inside now. I've tried recording this part a couple times now, but I keep finding more things to make more sense. So I'll start off with the outside tools. This is probably the most handy thing I ever made, and I should have made it before I made everything else. White ash handle, 1.5 inches at that end by 3/4 of an inch thick or so. This was a piece of W1 tool steel, 3/4 inch round, all forged. It's great for reaching things, just whatever you want to reach. Makes it a lot easier when you're outside sitting down. Super handy. It's got the pick on it so you can stab things and pick them up. Made a couple shovels. This is where I forge the things. No, it doesn't get used like this. Look at all this stuff in the way. It'd light on fire. Don't recommend, not safe. First little shovel I made. This is 4340, piece of a Horam bit. I'll get around to showing you the things that I cut it out of. It was all just cut on the bandsaw. Probably 3/16 of an inch thick. This is 14 gauge 304. This is 1.25 inches 304 stainless tube. Tiny little shovel. Probably, I don't know, maybe 5 inches wide at the top. And then it's only maybe, I don't know, 2 feet long. But I made it like this so I could put it in the ground, hit this end with the shovel, because it's very difficult to dig holes when you're in a wheelchair because you got nothing to push down, no stomach muscles or anything. And then I got the pickaxe, 4150, solid round, all hand forged. First thing I ever forged because that was the first thing I needed. I wanted to dig holes so I could plant apple trees. Got very rocky ground around here, so that's what I needed. It's on a 27-inch axe handle. After that, I started making my own handles because it's expensive to buy handles, and also just give you something to do, right? And then I needed an axe to clear some trail, just access to the bush, and so I tried to make an axe, double-sided axe. This side was to chop the roots, so I could chop the roots and then use the other end to chop the trees. This was too heavy, took a super long time to do that. All hand tools, no power tools, no hydraulic press, power hammer, nothing like that. Just a punch and a hammer in this forge beside me here. This too, start of a hammer. But for the axe, what I eventually got around to figuring out was it was much more efficient to buy 01 tool steel 3/16 plate. Then I just interlocked them together, notched them so they'd slide together, welded it. Whatever I read said you couldn't weld it. It wasn't weldable or not recommended to weld anyways, and I still probably wouldn't recommend welding it, but there it is. Used for a few years now. No problems. 01, so it's super strong. Very rocky ground, like I mentioned. No problems chipping on the edge. This is 304 1.25 inch stainless tube, 1/16 wall, copper rivets, handmade from 10 gauge, 8 gauge maybe copper wire. I don't know, probably a 36 or 40-inch white ash handle. And then I got to making a bigger shovel for digging bigger holes. This is a maple handle. This shovel's probably 7 inches wide. A little bigger than the other one. Same idea though. It's got the 4340 Horam piece I cut off a bandsaw for a cutting edge. And same again. Yeah, this is the 304 stainless handle. That just seems to be the most efficient or best thing I've got around to use. This is a piece of 4140 I cut off of this. This is what the pickaxe started out as. 1 inch 4150. All hand punched. Again, this is the material, all the material that was removed in punching the hole for those forged tools. Now I would just drill a hole and drift it bigger because it's much more efficient. This is what the Picaroon started out as. That's 3/4 inch W1 tool steel. There's a little thing for separating getting the rocks out of the dirt whenever I got my garden going and potatoes and things. But this is the 304. You can see it's squished into an oval. That's pretty much how all of them are made. These the shovel handles, because they're round, they're tapered. So I just cut a piece of that 1.25" 304 stainless, and then put it up here on this where I forge all my things. 4x4 1018 welded to 2-inch cutting edge off of a loader bucket or something. You can sort of see that it's got that taper to it. It's all funky shaped and stuff now, but so I just put the 1.25" up there, hit it with this, makes it tapered a bit. And yeah, this is the Horam bit that a lot of the things around here have been made out of. Woodworking tools, all kinds of things. If I can back up here, I'll see if I can show you some of the stuff. So here's a piece of that Horam bit. Wood chiseled. That's the same stuff the shovel's made out of. 1.25", 14 gauge 304 stainless, welded to the 4340. This was all cut out with a hacksaw, just because I didn't want to put any heat into it, because you can see the heat there. It'd make it lose its hardness. So right now it's very hard, very sharp. You can see it's got a mirrored finish on there. Works very good. I'll put you down. Yeah, it's dark. It's hard to travel around with a camera when you're sitting in a wheelchair. I need both hands to move. This was also made out of that Horam bit. The Horam I have is probably 3 feet long and 5 inches round. So I stood it up and cut it on the saw. I'll try and show you a bit later. But this too, all the holes were drilled when it was still square. Cut that out with a jeweler saw and 4 small holes, because that's what I had and it works. That's just a 1/2 inch hole. But yeah, super handy for making all kinds of things. Just a good handling surface with sharp, crisp edges and a rounded edge at the top. Nope. It's awfully dark. It's hard to do all this stuff here. I gotta put you down again. I'll see if I can get to that. Yeah, more stuff in the way. It's real life here. It's it's very messy. Not very messy, but it's real life messy. So here's the bandsaw. I just cut everything on here. And somewhere back there you can see on the ground that rusty round, solid round bar. That's the Horam bit. So I stood it up. I welded it to this plate here. You can see those cut lines. And then, yeah, here, just like that. And cut it all. Cut it. And then this is what's left over. Good chunk that I haven't done anything with. There's a couple pieces here. You can see this is how I made the cutting edge for the shovels. So it's just the outside slice right here. And then I put it in the saw at a 45 and cut off wee little slivers like that. So then you can see that's the end of the shovel. Simple but super effective. And maybe that'll be it for showing tools for now, because it's getting long, and if you want to see more, just let me know. Thanks. So right here, this is where I left off, but balance off cutting things. This is where, or how all the, most of the things get made. Hammers. And stakes. Some round balls for different things. A little piece of wood with a notch cut into it so I can cut things with a jeweler saw. That's a burring machine for sheet metal. Puts a 90-degree edge on sheet metal. It's a lot faster than doing it by hand. This is just most of them, not all the hammers that I use for making mostly everything. Some of them I've made, some of them I've bought, and some of them have been customized, adjusted. Here's one, that used to be a 12-pound sledgehammer, cut the end off. Very handy. You can see there's one missing. It's a 8-pound sledgehammer I had, same thing. Cut off the end. Now it's a 5-pound hammer. It's great for most everything. Punching, drifting, all that. But figured I'd show you this before I left or stopped the video, because as you can see, I like my hammers.